All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all the honor, the praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutations to the elect, scattered abroad. All right, this is the brother Barbazal here with a lesson, and then Lord willing, is edifying. All right, so today I wanted to get into a lesson through the Spirit, just going into this whole situation, right? Regarding Guerrilla Hebrew, and not talking really in depth to what's going on, but with everything that's surrounding this situation over the past few weeks, right? It just keeps on. It's coming. This is becoming like some sort of drama or something, like some sort of reality TV show, right? Because it's one thing to rebuke and mark individuals, right? Which that's a part of being a prophet, right? We do those things in order to edify the body, right? Defend the gospel, right? But it comes to a point where it's like this is just your main focal point. It's like this guy Shaw Ariella, right? He broke off, right, out of Sakari, right, and basically he's doing his own thing by the name of House of Bread, right? And in his new channel, it's where's the edification, man? And let me get that right. And we're gonna get to that, but first I want to address, because the Apostle Sahar said, I got bigger fishes to fry. This is turning into a hot mess with it, which it is. And you got all sorts of madness going on, things being out of order, right? Like you got just all these women coming, and like Guerrilla Hebrew's wife did a whole 2-hour video on the situation, which we already know that he went off. We know the situation, right? You got the proof in the receipts. Okay, he got rebuked, all right, and that was it. That was that. All right, but you gotta it's like they milking this situation, right? Keep on making videos about it, furthering the evidence that you already have, which that's just unnecessary, and it brings in people that's tuned in for the wrong reasons. Okay, so let's get his channel real quick. Look at this. All right, Ariella finally speaks, right? You got two other videos, and then look, Masala, the wife of Guerrilla Hebrew, speaks, which basically, I watched some of it, just kind of skipping through it, and she just talking for a whole 2 hours, man, about the situation, which that's unnecessary. That's like a movie, man. Like this is like the cinema to these Israelites, man. Look how many views it got. You see? And people ain't watching this for the edification's sake, man. And look at this. At least half over most of his streams is just going into Al-Azhar, man. Guerrilla Hebrew. Like, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 7, right? Is basically going into the Guerrilla Hebrew situation, right? But this is what it is, man. These guys are in it just to get the views, get the status. All right, it's not about edifying, man. What is edifying about this? All right, you already came out with the proof. You already came out that he was wicked, and then you doing 5-hour, 4-hour live streams, 3-hour live streams on the same stuff. Okay. Going into everybody's account of the situation and stretching it. All right, which we get it. He's wicked. All right, he's not a true high priest or chief priest or however he deems himself. He's not a real man of the Lord. Right, we've been warning about this guy for years on end. Right, not to deal with them, right? But that it is what it is. He did what he did, right? He got the rebuke, got the shame. All right, now you're supposed to move on, man. All right, we got bigger fish to fry, like the Apostle Tahar said. We going into the prophecy, right? We going into the whole tariff situation. Tensions rising up with the nations. Okay, we going into the whole inflation thing. All right, the prices of eggs, right? The prices of food. These different prices, are going up. All right. It's a judgment. A lot of judgment happening, man. All right. Like you had that one situation. I believe it was a week or two ago. With the whole Simeonite Dominican Republic situation. The nightclub roof collapsed. Okay. It's plenty of videos to do. Other than this, but what's gonna happen? You're gonna get the views, get the clicks, right? Get the likes, okay? And it's not about edification. It's just to build, heap your own disciples, man. Build a following. You see? That's all this is about, man. All right. It's the book of Ezekiel 33 and 31. And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness. Lo, thou art unto them a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice and can play well on the instrument. For they hear thy words, but they do them not. And these are the type of Israelites that's tuning into these videos. These different videos with the Guerrilla Hebrew. Alazar, clicking every every video that come up, the first one on the live stream. You got women who are moderators, just just saying anything on there, man. But that's out of order, because women are supposed to keep silence in the church. Okay, doing a whole 2-hour video of what happened between the relationship with you, and we don't need to know all the details, man. All right. We seen the proof, we seen the receipts. Okay, we know what happened already. But they dragging this situation. Okay, that just go to show you that they not in this for the right thing, man. All right, you supposed to go do your 1 or 2, and these videos are already hours long, right? And I tuned in, right? Because we watch some of these live streams sometimes, right? And tuning into the live stream, you had a whole bunch of ad breaks, so the channel was monetized, so that brings up another question, if it's a monetary gain behind it as well, right? Multiple ads in the video, especially and they do it like the YouTubers do it, like when you about to bring out some evidence, or you about to bring out the peak of what's about to happen. The ad comes in, you see. So it's not about the edification, it's about the status, the following, the monetary gain. Okay. And this is nothing new. Like the Sakari of old, right? This it's the same thing that happened. The Sakari has never been a group that the Lord has been dealing with, branching off or getting broken off into, different sects because of, different disagreements and, things of that nature. That all happened in the ancient world, man. In ancient Rome. Okay. So let me get another precept. This is Romans 16-17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine we have learned, and avoid them. Yeah. So marking individuals, rebuking individuals, right? That's a part of the doctrine, right? That's a part of, being a prophet. All right. But you just making all these videos, and look at the title of these videos, man. Here's the proof. Gorilla Shebrew loves play, right? Shaw Ariella slides on Gorilla Cuck Brew. Like, you see how, like, people are clicking because of these titles. Oh man, he about to, this is gonna be an interesting video. And you get tired of seeing, and you click them, right? And you click them and skip through them, and you just want to see the drama, right? But when you click these videos, it's just going through the same thing, going through the same thing, the same topic, the same evidence, man. Not really going into anything new, but just dragging the situation, stretching the situation, man. All right. First Corinthians 14:34, let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it's a shame for women to speak in the church. And, women shouldn't even be a part of the congregation at all, man. Not speaking, all right? It's best for, your woman not to be around brothers at all. Not even knowing you, will not coming around for private counsel and whatever other madness these different groups is saying, right? Nah, man, what you got going on with your woman, all right, that's between you and that woman, okay? Verse 40, let all things be done decently and in order, okay? And everything, and all this, and all this is out of order, man. With these women, what these women are doing, on these comment boards, right? Pandering to the women, because that's all these different groups do, man. Women bring the money, right? So it ain't truly about spreading the gospel of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. No, it's to gain a following, to gain money, to gain some sort of status in this thing. But that's not what this thing is about, man. Okay. But that's pretty much, the lesson or one that was edifying. So with that, I'd like to give all the honor, the praise, and glory unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bahashim Rachakodash. Shalom.